You might be listening and thinking like, what do the MGLs do? What are they all about? Missionary God's love. We have like a way of life. What are the core pillars of our life? Prayer, brotherhood and mission. Our mission.
So at the heart of our mission lies a commitment to the process of evangelization and discipleship. The power of the Holy Spirit and through the exercise of the charisms. So we are committed to charismatic preaching, resulting in initial conversion and formation of missionary disciples. We are particularly called to minister to the poor and young people. We highly value collaboration with laity and empowering them for evangelization and ministry. Yes, there's lots in that. Yeah.
We work with the Holy Spirit to disciple people and use the gifts that the Holy Spirit gives us. And, it's not in our own strength.
Yeah.
We have a real devotion to like the Holy Spirit, I guess, trying to seek him out and get the power and, the gifts that we need.
People come in different stages of life and in different experience of the church and faith. And so we're trying to meet people where they're at and then helping them to move further on in the journey. Yeah.
Charismatic preaching. Oh, sorry.
No, you get the charismatic preaching. I'll go for that and we can say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's the life, death, and resurrection. It's the basic gospel message, and the Holy Spirit as well. Pentecost is part of that. So, just the message, the basic core message of the gospel, and so hearing that in a clear way, in a way that engages with people's lives, but then also responding to that.
Like hearing it yourself.
Yeah.
And really having, like Bishop Barron talks about, the charisma is the great story of Jesus. What you just said, like, his life, death, and resurrection, and then he sent the Holy Spirit, and the crowning moment of his mission was, the Holy Spirit came upon the disciples, church, and that message, you go to church so often and you don't hear that message, or you go to a Catholic school, I had one of my relatives say, "Is Jesus God?" Or is he the Son of God? I'm like, my heart, it's that real core, like, who is God? Who is Jesus? What was his story? What did he do? Why did he do it? It should be like the heart of everything we do. Whenever we give a homily or whenever we do some sort of ministry, the hope is that people will have heard the great story of Jesus.
And so I think we're waking up as Catholic Church to the realization of that. I mean, it's obviously been there from the beginning, but often we're focused on like the catechesis and catechism, which is so important, but that comes after that encounter. So I mean, even my own experience of that, like when you went to kind of Catholic schools and things like that, but it was when I had that experience of responding to the gospel, then everything kind of came alive. In a whole new way. It's
not just like hearing it intellectually. Oh, this is the charisma. This is the essential truth of the gospel. It's just hearing that, but it's encountering that truth, right? And let it change your life. Like Jesus died for me, and he rose again from the dead. He sent the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit dwells in me, and this is, as they're saying, it's so essential. I'm glad we've got it in our vision, but I'm sure so many in the church right now are responding to that call. Spread the charisma. Particularly called to minister to the poor and the young people. We do that in practical ways, ministry to the poor. Like in Philippines, for example, there, Father Paul, he does a lot of work with poor people and in Pleiades, and great ministry, like practically to poor people or in other parts. But, also not like just materially poor, spiritually poor, that's on our heart. It's on Jesus' heart to minister to the poor and to the downtrodden. And young people, we really work hard with youth ministry. So it's kind of what drew me as well. We highly value collaboration with lay and empower them for evangelization and ministry.
Yeah, so just working with lay people and being on mission together, not just being kind of clerical that we've got all the answers, are actually working together with lay people. And we're a part of the community and like one of the Disciples of Jesus community, which is a lay community. And we kind of were birthed out of that community. And that's just a real gift to work together. In some ways that like we're ordained for the church to empower people, but it's the lay people that are actually the ones that are called on mission to the world. And so
if you're a lay person, you can evangelize in the marketplace, meaning you can bring people who aren't in the church to the church. Like you can bring them to Christ. And here we are as clerics. We're living in the presbytery. And the church is there. We don't work a normal job or something like that. It's so. And we came from a lay community. That's a really important point. Usually the religious order starts, and then there's a lay community out, like, coming outside of that, like a third order or something. But there was a lay community in Canberra called Disciples of Jesus, or all over the place, sorry. And our founder, Father Ken Barker, he wanted to become part of that community. And as 3 young men from that community wanted to join us and become priests, they decided to, God's calling them to form a new way of life, and Missionaries of God's love. And so, we could still stay in that community, Disciples of Jesus, as we're all still part of this lay community, lay-run community, and still be priests and brothers and sisters, which is awesome.
That's good. What I was going to say before was just that, the 3 pillars of our life, so prayer, brotherhood, and like they flow into mission, like they exist on themselves, like that prayer is important just as it is, and then also just brotherhood, but they also, like, when we do those well, and like our mission actually flows out of those 2 realities.
Empower us for mission, right?
Yeah.
So our mission goes, it's really accelerated or moved forward if we have good brotherhood, if we have good prayer, obviously.
And it kind of keeps it down to earth, because I mean, one of the challenges and the blessings of brotherhood is, like, you keep you down to earth. You don't get too ahead of yourself. So
keeps you humble.
And then also, like, just that prayer. It's like, I guess I'm sort of trying to say, it's like, it's like helps us to be authentic, because if we're actually praying, we're encountering Jesus. Then when we're preaching, it's not just some nice words, but coming out of our own experience. And in the same, like we said, like we want to be, missionaries of God's love to us, to each other first. So I think that's really cool thing, because it's like you can preach and get out there and do all this mission, and then you come home and then you just argue with each other. It's probably not ideal. Right. My
mum always said charity begins at home, Justin. It always stirring me up, but it's true. Like, it's we doing community life is hard. Like, different cultures.
For sure.
In seminary, like when I was in seminary, MGLs, there would have been like 16 to 20 guys or something like that. And from very diverse cultures, several Australians, of course, but like other guys from all sorts of countries, and we all have to get along together and work together. And so that's important. Because if we can learn how to love each other in that, like, mixing pot of cultures and backgrounds and experiences, then we can really love well on mission.
100%.
That's who we are.
First episode,
Prayer, brotherhood, mission. It's our way of life. But it's great. Thank you for joining us. And it's awesome to get to know. I don't know how we get to know you.
They're probably getting to know us. We don't get to know them. Maybe in the comments we can get to know them a little bit, maybe. But
share with us your way of life. Awesome. God bless you. And
awesome. Thanks, Justo.
Yeah, we don't know how to finish. This is our first episode. So.
Yeah, we're just learning. So bear with us. Thanks for listening to the MGL podcast. Tune in every Monday and Wednesday for new episodes. Connect with us on Instagram at MGL_priests and brothers. And that's all from us. Until next time.